We have variant 8 compensation, but it fails to deliver. Kabam respond to criticism on this. Will the Scarlet Witch sigil ever leave the Black ISO market store? A free 5-star was meant to be coming yesterday, apparently. And what's the update to Ikaris and his SP1 changes? Yes, what is happening? What is good? It is a Friday. Thank God it's a Friday. There's a lovely little weekend just on the horizon. You can smell it, you can taste it, you can just see it. Just there. It's good news, isn't it? And before going anywhere, please hit the like button and subscribe with post notifications on all if you haven't. Next week is going to be a very, very important week, especially with lots of spicy information dropping, and especially going into December. You'll want to have post notifications on all. Follow on Discord, follow on Twitter, because I'll be posting loads and loads of stuff. It's going to be good, yow. And also a massive thank you to those that support the channel as a YouTube member and as well as a Patreon. Thanks very much for supporting. You're on screen right now. And also those that support on twitch.tv/RichTheMan live. That's where I do a lot of my live streamings. So make sure to come over to one of those for a live stream. Thanks to those that give the Amazon Prime converted Twitch Prime sub. Those that give tier 1 subs, tier 2 subs, bits, donations, and as well gifted subs. Appreciate the love and support, and hopefully get to see you either tomorrow or today. No, I'll definitely see you tomorrow for a live stream on YouTube. Ooh, exciting. But now we're going to kick off the show with this. As a lot of you know, we've talked about Ikaris, and the problem with Ikaris being that he was doing more damage than he was labeled to do, and especially something that Kabam had to go and deal with back at the 10th of November, when Kabam said, oh yeah, by the way, we're going to change the SP1, which is reduce the number of refreshes of Ikaris SP1 while we work on a fix, blah, 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 blah. And it's going to be a case that Ikaris will only refresh his incinerates on the final hit of his SP1 instead of all 4. Well, as we come ever closer or not closer to this fix, there's been a slight update in that the temporary fix we had initially released for Ikaris was not effective in curbing his unintended damage spikes as we had hoped. We are pushing a second temporary fix that will better address the issue. Moving forward, the final hit of Ikaris' SP1 will remove all incinerates on the opponent and reapply them all back with their full duration, which I think is good news if that is the way that Kabam are treating this, and we'll go with it ongoing. So that's just a little update on that Ikaris situation. Next up, and let's talk about Scarlet Witch, the Summoner Sigil version. As a lot of you know, that getting this champion, you have to have a Summoner Sigil in order to get it. And also, you know, it's the Summoner Sigil. I know for a lot of people, they may be going, oh, well, I can't afford to go and do this on a monthly basis. I'm free to play. I'm not going to go and do it. Sometimes you look at it and go like, well, it doesn't really give, the Summoner Sigil doesn't give a huge amount of advantage against anything. So you can't really say it's a pay to win thing. But if you are Thronebreaker, yes, you do get to have a 6-star, so it's kind of improved its value, because at the end of the day, you have to look at this and go, if you want to spend your money on something in the game, you have to get value back from it. And before, I would say, before this champion was thought about being put in, you did not get any value for money. Now there looks like to be some improvements to the value, but it's not exactly there. I do hope that the Black ISO market is kind of reviewed a lot more, and more things are added to it, and better ways to break down certain shards that you're not going to work on into bigger and better ones is there in the future. But that's another story for another day. The main thing about this is, will we be seeing this removed? The answer is no. Scarlet Witch Sigil is always going to be there as a permanent feature, as confirmed by Kabam Mike. Not to worry, we have no plans to remove Scarlet Witch from the Black ISO market, and your credits don't expire. Now, what of all this situation around creating a new account? A lot of people, funny enough, in the last say 24, 48 hours have started creating alt accounts. I wonder why. Yeah, so look, we're still waiting to see like any type of response from Kabam about the restrictions. I can imagine that will come in the coming weeks, especially as we get close to the gifting events launch, gifting events, I don't know, teasing and gifting events, announcement, information, whatever. I'm sure we'll see that down the line. We're still waiting to see those restrictions. But it was something interesting to see, like a whole, I mean, I'm going to do it. Next week I'm going to be doing a special live stream, more than likely here on YouTube, that looks into doing 6 hours and trying to see, like, you know, this process or testing it out. And also it's good because I do need to grow an alt account to make some new videos about new player experience series. So that's something that I've got to do. So it kind of like it's a win-win for everybody, so to speak. But at the same time, whether or not my account will be, my alt account will be restricted, will be something that's very important, and also very important to me as well as many other players as well. But it was something that was put out on the forums yesterday or the day before that just says like, well, what's the deal with Kabam and the unit situation of Acts 1 to 3? And funnily enough, it could be a case that there's going to be some mastery cores added, and the question was like, how about replace much of the unit rewards from Acts 1 to 3 with stuff players who are just starting should be spending their units on, like mastery cores? And Kabam Mike's response is, this is actually something we're looking into anyways, but not necessarily to do with this event. Mastery cores specifically are a great idea since we want players to start learning about masteries earlier in the game. So maybe not the units being totally removed, but definitely them being something that is not going to take so much of their units away from them, and the new player experience being more, fun. And yes, masteries are very important very early on. So yeah, like this is I wouldn't say it's big news, but I think it's something that's very important news for new players to the game. And you do have to understand, like, we may have lost a lot of players from this game since July, so Kabam will probably be doing the rounds to bring in new players over the next few months, which is very important because we need fresh blood into the game, and we welcome them with open arms. Come in. Hey, you! Yes, that's right, you! Did you pick up a free 5-star yesterday? You didn't? Did I? No. No one did. But Kabam sent out a notification to some people saying, free gift. Claim your 5-star champion now. Now, this could be something of a premature notification that was got to go out for next month. Yes, it wouldn't really kind of tie into the time frame of either early in the month, Kabam's birthday, which I think is either the 10th or the 14th, and then, Christmas Day, which is on the 25th of December. But it could be something that, I don't know, Kabam are planning to do, or if not, it's one of these notifications they may have had just, I don't know, someone put it in, and then someone said, no, take it out, we're not going to be doing that for them. And then all of a sudden, we've then got a notification right there. There's been no response, and I think I remember back in the day, like seeing some of these notifications, I think mainly on my Android device as opposed to my iOS, because I didn't see this on my iOS, but I did, as I said in the past, see it on my Android device. So I'm not going to like dispute it, but at the same time, Kabam haven't responded to this. It looks like the post has been edited by Kabam Zibbit, but nothing's really been said. So if you're expecting to see a 5-star champion in your, I don't know, inbox, well, unfortunately, you're mistaken. Sad times. Sad times for a Friday. Even more sad times are to come. And that is indeed with compensation. Yes, unfortunately, compensation went out to players. I say unfortunately, kind of think like, okay, compensation. That's a good thing, isn't it? No, not when you consider this. Now let's put Variant 8 down to these kind of two factors. And that's Deadpool X-Force and the Venom Pool boss, right? So the Deadpool X-Force boss is basically, to a degree, an unwinnable fight, unless you're using certain champions that add power control elements to them, and we're able to strip the champion down to at least kind of the lower bars of power, which Nebula and I think Winter Soldier were good options for that. Yeah, you could try and do something with Gwenpool, but you're going to have to kind of like really kind of like work quite fast. Here's the thing though, it was just an unwinnable situation, or a less than opportunist situation of winning. So it basically meant that going, right, well, you're going to be spending revives to take down Deadpool X-Force. For me, I think it was a case I did it in 2 revives when we did it on stream, and that's 2, count that, that's 2. A lot of players were using 2. They were using 1 or 2. I would probably say to the latter point, there may be players using a lot more, which means that the average, or that the mean average, would be definitely putting it into something more of a closer figure. Say, let's again, like say if someone used I don't know 5 revives, but then highly skilled people use 1 revive, maybe even 2 revives, and then it's a case like, right, well that would mean that the average would be, if more people were using 5, then I'd put it down as like a 3, so that's 3 revives. No, it wouldn't be in this case, apparently, according to Kabam. Venom Pool is a different kind of kettle of fish. What in any kind of case, because it is a champion that didn't really have the situation of a hashtag mercenary can take it down. Now a hashtag mercenary can take down that particular fight. I just don't know. Like, I really don't know where this is. I think as well, like the extent of where the problem was and when Kabam were taking the info. I think because I think I got more than that. I got more than one in some cases. Like people get like one there. Yeah, like somebody got like there 3. Like in some cases, I just don't know if it's been overly adding up. And yeah, it's just odd, really. It's really odd. And Kabam Mike did say to this that it was how this process was done. So this is not based on the number of items you personally used, but the average difference between what people sued. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's suing Kabam, especially because of like the way they are sometimes used before and after. Summoners will still use potions and revives on this fight after the fix went live, and this is based on what the data we collected shows for the difference. So I did it before the fix and did not do it after the fix. No, I did it once. I did it once more after the fix for a video. So yeah, I think that a lot of times a lot of this gathering of info just doesn't fair. Well, it's Kabam. At the end of the day, if you think you can trust Kabam to fairly compensate, you are sadly mistaken. And it's just been the same thing for the last year over certain situations like this. And Variant 8 is a very sour taste in the mouth for new content, and it's definitely made me rethink how much I enjoy variants moving forward. I will still do them. I'm still kind of like get on with them, but then the more that I've looked at it, the more I just thought, nah, Variant 8, you swing and a miss. Big L with that one. And lost a lot of trust. Kabam Mike does go a little bit further to say, I probably shouldn't have said based on the average, because we don't use the average to determine what we're given as compensation. But we do look at it. Okay. We usually cut out the top and bottom outliers and then aim to be on the more generous generous side when we do these things. Okay. But that does still mean that no matter where we land, somebody will have probably used more or less than what is returned. In an ideal world, we'd be able to work this out on an individual level, but that's just not possible, or would result in compensation taking several months to complete. Okay. I think with this, it all boils down to our relationship and how we see Kabam and the taste in the mouth. A lot of the time, the taste in the mouth is very important to a point of like, if you are a player to a game and say the game's developer is, when something goes wrong, something goes bad. A lot of games that I play on mobile seem to be, when there's maintenance, there's compensation. Not compensation, but it's kind of like a nice little kind of prize, where there's a nice little thing kind of left. It's given to players. To say like, oh, whilst the game's been down, here's something, here's a currency of some kind. I'm not going to name other names of games, but maybe I should. Like, I know Raid Shadow Legends do it, and I know that Marvel Future Revolutions do it. When you've had like a maintenance, they then give you something after that, and it's one of these things where it's the nice taste in the mouth type element of going, oh, well, they care to kind of give something back to the people that play it, regardless of what you think of those games. They do that. Kabam does not. And looking at a situation like this, when there seems to be like an error or a problem, is maybe doing like a flat kind of overcompensation. You can't put the word generous in it. And look, I'm not, Kabam do give back. They do give back to players, and they do give stuff to players for free. But then there's stuff like this of going like, if you overcompensate, say everybody got like, I don't know, 5 level 2 revives and 10 level 5 health potions, I'm sure Kabam would say, oh no, we can't be doing that. But the difference is players going, do you know what? Even if they put like, this is above the average that players were spending, I'm sure that more players would go, yeah, do you know, that's pretty cool. Yeah, cheers, Kabam. Rather than going, this is a problem, let's go into the forums and let's do like a thing. And then it's then Kabam Mike, as community manager, or what position he is, has to then respond. So then it's like, right, well now we've wasted resource because someone has to respond to then give a reason as to why we've done this. And it's like, well, this all could have been avoided. And that's the point I'm coming to, is saving time in the company, avoiding backlash. Like, do you not get, like, you could just go, whoosh, those things are gone by just doing the, like, a nice little compensation package anytime this has happened. But, you know, there we go. Let's waste more time, more company time by not doing a nice little generous compensation package and wasting companies' time with responding to a forum thread they didn't need to do if they compensated well enough. But hey, you know, I'm an idiot, so I don't know anything, do I? Thank you very much for watching this edition of Marvel Contest of Champions news for Friday, and we'll see you on Monday for a new news. And as well, make sure to be around for the live stream tomorrow. See you then. Bye bye.